In the beginning, there was silence. Nothing had been corrupted, and then God spoke. With his creative voice, he brought into existence the heavens, the earth, the light, the seas, the animals, and finally, mankind. That's how Adam was born, the first man, formed from the dust of the earth and filled with the breath of life. God placed him in a perfect setting, the Garden of Eden, a paradise without pain, without fear, and without death. But something was missing. It wasn't good for man to be alone. And so, God created Eve, the first woman made from Adam's rib. United, they lived among crystal-clear rivers, fruitful trees, and the very presence of God. But there was one condition, just one rule. At the center of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God commanded, "You may eat from any tree, but not from this one. If you eat from it, you will surely die." The instruction was clear, but then came a sly presence. The serpent, the most cunning of all creatures, appeared before Eve. With soft and seductive words, it planted doubt. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree? Eve replied that they just couldn't touch the forbidden tree. But the serpent pushed further. You won't die. In fact, you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, it looked delicious. And more than that, promised wisdom. She reached out, picked it, and ate. Then she gave some to Adam, and he ate too. In that instant, something unseen shattered. Innocence vanished. The weight of disobedience fell on them like a storm. For the first time, they realized they were naked. Shame, once non-existent, was born. They tried to cover themselves with leaves, tried to hide. No one can hide from God. God came into the garden. He called out to Adam and asked, "Where are you?" That was the beginning of a conversation that would change everything. Adam tried to justify himself, said he was afraid, that he was naked, that Eve gave him the fruit. Eve said the serpent deceived her. God listened and then announced the consequences. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly. Eve would suffer pain in childbirth. Adam would toil and sweat to work the ground. Worst of all, they were banished from Eden. The perfect communion was broken. Access to the tree of life was sealed. Paradise was closed to them both. But even in the face of failure, God didn't abandon them. He made garments to clothe them. And he promised to one day send someone who would crush the evil that had entered the world. That promise planted a hope that would pass through generations. The story of Adam and Eve is not just about disobedience. It's about choices, consequences, and redemption. It's the beginning of humanity's journey, full of mistakes, but also full of promise. This story still echoes today. It speaks about us. It's about our own decisions. It's about right and wrong. It's about the hope of a new beginning.